Hey everybody, my name is Wilby and welcome back to my homemade trading card game Rainbow Fight. Today's video is gonna be epic because there's gonna be speed art, there are gonna be some cool updates, and I'm gonna show you guys the brand new archetype called the Spirit Archetype. So let's not waste any more time, let's go! So we're gonna start this video with some speed art. Since Carl Angelo Bolante, sorry if I mispronounced that, asked for it, so here you go. But this also allows me to say something real quick about Rainbow Fight. Cause I really want to publish my game on the Game Crafter. I'm really working hard to get there, but I wasn't really happy with the current rules for my game. I think that it was just too difficult and would take too long to play, and I just want a fun game that you can play with a friend during a lunch break or something like that. So that's why I decided to change up the rules a bit and make it a little bit easier. And the cool thing about the new rules is that it allows for multiplayer games. I would say it's about 2 to 4 players, which is something I really enjoyed. But basically with the new rules, every turn a dice is rolled, and for the rest of that turn only items and fighters with a power lower or equal to the number of eyes on the dice can be played. And of course the higher the power, the better or stronger the card is. So this is a very cool mechanic and I really enjoy it. But oh yeah, every turn you either attack your opponent with a fighter or you defend an attack from your opponent's active fighter. And it's basically you winning those battles. But there's a cool twist about it, you can go ahead and check it out once I publish my rulebook. But yeah, that was it for the quick announcement that I wanted to make. Now for the Spirit Archetype. The Spirit Archetype is basically an archetype of little monsters, simple creatures, and they all have an ability that either allows them to switch attack and health values from their own or from their opponent, which is something that is really cool. But enough talking, I'm gonna show you guys it in a second. I hope you guys enjoy it, and this was the speed art. So the card that started the Spirit Archetype was this guy that I drew quite a while ago, and I just really enjoyed it. It was a simple monster with not much detail to it, and I really enjoyed him, so that's why I decided to make a Spirit Archetype. But since it's a while since I drew this one, I decided to redraw him, so here we go. Here's the new version of him, and he looks quite epic in my opinion right now. And I hear you thinking, where's the name and where are the stats? Well, since I started working on the Spirit Archetype and I also wanted to make my game for sale on the Game Crafter, I decided to make those fact and stats digital, so here we have it. So as you can see, I spent quite a lot of time in making my cards look a little bit more professional, and it turned out very cool in my opinion. So this guy is called Pyramid. He is from the Spirit Archetype. He is a red common fighter, you can tell because this R stands for the color and the C stands for common, which is the rarity. And I don't remember 1, 2, 3 which people said it, but there was a comment from somebody saying, what about colorblind people and how are they supposed to know which color a fighter is? And that's why I decided to add it to the text box. So Pyramid is a power tree with 17 attack and 43 health, and he has a flip ability. You can reveal the top card of your fighter deck. If that fighter has spirit in its name and has a flip ability, you may use that ability as this fighter's ability. So the ability might not make a lot of sense right now, but as soon as I publish the rulebook, you can go ahead and check it out, and I'll be sure that it will make a lot of sense. But let's continue with the next 2 cards. So the next 2 cards are called Incendix and Clocks, and I really enjoyed making those, and honestly I spent way more time working on the background than working on the fighter or the creature itself, but I really liked how they turned out. And Incendix Flame Spirit is a orange common fighter, power 2 with 26 attack and 23 health, and he has a flip ability. You can switch the attack and health from your opponent's active fighter. And oh yeah, the main gimmick for the Spirit Archetype is switching the attack and health and all that, and that's why Incendix is just a very common or a good fitting card for the Spirit Archetype. And Clock Spirit is a blue common fighter, power 2 with 11 attack and 37 health, and he has also a cool flip ability because you can switch the attack and health from this fighter, so they both fit very well in the Spirit Archetype and they both look very cool. But let's continue with the next two cards, because we have many more to go, guys. So the story for the next two cards goes back quite a while ago. I'm pretty curious to see if some of you guys might remember these. But these two cards were from a previous card game called Tower Strikers. And yeah, well, these were just two simple looking monsters. And that's why I decided, why not put them back into Rainbow Fight. So here we go, they are now in the Spirit Archetype. So as you can see, the art changed quite for the better. I really like how these cards turned out. So I also made these cards digital, so I'm gonna go ahead and show those as well. So here you have them. Let's start off with Fuzzle. So Fuzzle Fast Spirit is a orange rare fighter, power 1 with 7 attack and 21 health. Average stats, but he has an ability that can be used in the hand. You can return this fighter to your fighter deck, and then you may add a card with Spirit in its name from the void to your hand. So a very key card in the Spirit Archetype starter deck. And to be honest, it's just crazy to see him return to Rainbow Fight, since this guy is so long ago. And yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the other card as well. So here we have Whopper Spirit, a yellow common fighter, power 1 with 8 attack and 22 health. And when he's in your hand, and this ability can only be activated during standby phase 2, which is right before the battle phase, you can send this card to the void and then switch the attack and health from your active fighter. So this fits pretty well with the main gimmick for the Spirit Archetype. So it's really cool to see those two cards return to Rainbow Fight in the Spirit Archetype. But let's continue, because there's still more cards to go, guys. Okay guys, so before I'm gonna show you guys the next card, I just gotta say that the artwork for this card is so sick, and it must be my favorite card for the Spirit Archetype. So fasten your seatbelt, 3, 2, 1. So as you can see, he turned out so sick, and I don't know why, but I just really love this guy. And here is the finished version from him. So his name is Craziness, it also says crazy right there and in the background. So Craziness Spirit is a purple and blue D-color rare fighter, a power 5 with 53 attack and 41 health. So as you can see, the more power the fighter has, the higher the stats are. And when he's on your rainbow, all active fighters with a flip effect get plus 10 attack, which is very good, since most Spirit fighters have a flip ability. So Craziness, very cool for the Spirit Archetype, and I really love him. Just kidding. So this is bout, and this is second to last card that I'm gonna show you guys. And he's just a cute looking guy, and I really enjoyed making this one. He's just a bit silly, and here's the finished version. So bout, depending on how you want to say it, is a yellow common fighter, power 2 with 30 attack and 12 health, and you can flip him and then switch the attack from this fighter with the attack from your opponent's active fighter. So again, switching the attack and health. But yeah, bout is just a funny looking guy. But now prepare yourself for the final card, which is the Overlord for the Spirit Archetype. So the last card for the Spirit Archetype is basically the Overlord for it, and he just turned out so wicked, and he's so crazy, and I really like how this guy turned out. So here we have him. So this is Trickster, Spirit Ruler. He's a rainbow rare, and he just looks so epic. And he also has a lot of spirit cards in the background. If you want to know, these 6 cards are also in the background of this card. And he just is so crazy, and I really like how this guy turned out. So this is the finished version from him. So Trickster Spirit Ruler is a sky rare rainbow fighter. This symbol indicates that it's a rainbow fighter, so he is basically all 6 colors. Power 6, which is the highest in the game. 78 attack and 32 health, so pretty great, and your opponent can't activate flip abilities, which is so powerful. And he's just so wicked and crazy that I really like this one, and he's it's a very good card for the Spirit Archetype in general. So this guy is so amazing. What is it for the Spirit Archetype cards? And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a nice day, guys. Bye everybody.